Hello, greetings and konnichiwa. My name is Jeremiah Samsonite. Today I'm back to take you on a journey around the world using only your ears. You might be saying right now, Jeremiah, that's impossible. To experience the world, I need all of my senses. And I say, you're a idiot. You only need your flappy side things. That's right. Using only your ears, I can take you any place in the entire world. I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to take you to some exotic places that you've never even dreamed of visiting. And I'm going to make you a believer. Are you ready? Close your eyes. Come on, do it. Are they closed? Okay, let's begin. Now you're at the St. Saviour Monastery in Jerusalem. Magnificent, isn't it? Now you're at the Abbey of St. Louise de Temple of Valhalla. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly. Oh, you're still not impressed? How about the Fox Cave at Glencoe, New Mexico? Everybody loves foxes. You're still not impressed yet? I find that very unimpressive. How about a decommissioned Cold War listening station in Berlin? It's a big dome. How about a nuclear reactor? Everybody loves nuclear reactors, right? How about inside a tomb? We're all heading there anyways. Might as well get used to it now. I still can't believe I'm not impressing you. Fine, I didn't want to have to do this, but now you're in the Farnborough Wind Tunnel. Soak it up, baby. Soak it up. 24-foot wind tunnel with a 30-foot blade. That's right, you're in a wind tunnel. How does it feel? This is what you get for not being impressed by me. Now you're probably asking yourself right now, Jeremiah, is this dark magic? Did you do a voodoo on me? And I'm here to tell you, no, don't worry. It's not magic. It's a convolution reverb and a green screen. But we're here to talk about the convolution reverb part, specifically about the convolution of building Q121 in the Farnborough Aviation Science Museum and Trust Museum of Trust. 24 feet of pure, unadulterated wind power, operational until 1994. Now it's the temporary home to Project Test Chamber, brought to you by MODCAF, the parent organization of Modular Cafe Aldershot. And that's why I'm doing this video, because they paid me to. But also, I did sound design for this project. That's right, baby. Jeremiah Sampson isn't just a pretty face and a rocking body. I'm also somebody who takes full credit for the sound design done to this project by my brother Jeremy, who I guess will have to be in the video later. Anyways, come with me now on a journey through time, space, and the oral pleasure that is Project Test Chamber. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-dun-dun-dun, da-da-dun-dun-dun, da-da-dun, da-da-dun-dun-dun. Project Test Chamber, Project Test Chamber, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Project Test Chamber, Project Test Chamber, Project Test Chamber is Project... So who is MODCAF anyway? Well, I'm pretty sure I already told you, but since you have the memory of a goldfish, I'll tell you again. MODCAF is the parent organization of Modular Cafe Aldershot. They've been doing hardcore community synthesizer meetups in Hampshire, England since 2018. I can't believe you didn't know that. It's so obvious. They have regular meetups centered around community and synthesizer-related accessories. They'll also do larger meetups and occasionally even a mini festival. Wow. But now, with the parent organization MODCAF, they've set their sights higher to the sky, to the moon, where there's a wind tunnel that they plan on making an art project out of. Now, I know you're smart. You're probably saying, hey, Jeremiah, what is this wind tunnel you keep on talking about, and why is it on the moon? I, for one, you're saying, no, there's no wind on the moon. And you're right. You are very smart. I lied to you. This wind tunnel is actually in Hampshire, England, in a town called Farnborough, where there is wind. You see, in Farnborough, there's the Farnborough Air Science and Trust Museum. I got it right and I looked down at my notes. There you'll find a whole gobbledygook of aviation and aviation-related technologies, such as aviation, aeroplanes, or airplanes if you're not British. You'll also find things like wind tunnels. That's right, there's more than one. Is there anything else there? Anything else?
Yeah, they have like engines and
engines and artifacts. Engines and artifacts?
Yeah, engines and artifacts.
Like in Indiana Jones? No, so plane-related stuff.
Just plane-related
only.
Stuff. Yeah.
So it's only plane-related stuff, but they do have artifacts and wind. I mentioned that Farnborough has wind, but in this case it's not normal wind. You see, in building Q121, there's what's called a wind tunnel, which is used for testing the aerodynamics of aircrafts. They used a 30-foot diameter, 6-bladed fan, with each blade made out of laminated mahogany. Now, you might not know this, but mahogany is the second most sensual wood, beaten out only by babinga. Babinga. If you're anything like me, you're probably looking at pictures of this place and saying, wow, I'd love to get my sine wave up in that acoustic strawberry patch. And you wouldn't be alone, you little nasty freak. The people at MODCAF took one listen to this place and said, hey, I want to live here forever. I want to raise my children here. I want to die here. The people at the Farnborough Air Science and Trust Museum of Air and Trust said, hey, you can't live here. We have no showers or bathrooms. So the MODCAF people said, we need to come up with a plan. How can we capture the essence of this place and take it with us wherever we go, in our hearts and in our flappy side ears? And that's where our little baby brother and 30 under 30 media luminary, convolution reverb, comes into play. You see, science types, aka nerds, figured out a way to go into a space and capture its very acoustic essence. They do this with their minds, but also microphones and speakers. You see, they figured out you could go into a space, set up a speaker, and play every audible frequency known to man at once. That is, 20 hertz down here and 20 kilohertz up here. You do this using either a burst of noise or a sine wave sweep from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. A series of precision microphones set up in the space then capture the result of that sound passing through the space. You can use any number of microphones, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and maybe even more. Science doesn't know. The resulting recording of the sound in the space is known as an impulse response, or IR, if you're nasty. This resulting IR can then be fed into a specialized reverb called a convolution reverb, which, when a sound is passed through it, will convolve the sound, thus making it seem like it is in the original acoustic space. Now I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, is this dark magic? Is this voodoo? Is this Satan's work? And I'm telling you no. It is not magic. Satan is involved, but only in an administrative role. This is actually math, or, if you're watching in the UK, maths. So the geniuses at MODCAF were like, we should totally convolve the heck out of this place. And that's what they did. And would you believe me if I told you in the video description there's a link for you to go get these impulse responses? No, I'm not lying to you like I did last time. It's true. In the link, which you should go click right now, or after you're finished watching this video and giving it a like and a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, you should go to the website and experience these impulse responses for yourself. If you don't have a convolution reverb, that's okay. You can still go to the website and listen to sounds that were made specifically to play back through this space to give you a sense of what it sounds like. And here's the most amazing part. Guess who made those sounds? Come here, I want to tell you. Come here. It was me. Okay, fine, it wasn't me. It was other Jeremy, but he's so boring and he doesn't have a turtleneck or a gold chain or anything like that. So it's like, I didn't really want to put him in the video, but like, I don't have a choice. Here's other Jeremy explaining how the sound's made for this thing. Whatever.
Hey, it's original Jeremy here. I did the sound design for phase 1 of the MODCAF test chamber project, and I wanted to show you what I did. They reached out and were like, we're going to have stereo impulse responses for you, and I'm sure other Jeremy already told you what those were. They gave me a few different ones, these 3 different ones, and I put them on my master channel, and I can switch between them to kind of get a sense of how what I make will sound in different parts of the test chamber. So they wanted some piano, they wanted some guitar, some synthesizers at different tempos, some drums, which I'll talk about in a second. That's a really weird one. Pads, and then some voices and stuff. So yeah, I'll just play through these and we'll hear what the difference is. So this is what you can hear on the website as well if you go over there. So different ones of these IRs will respond differently depending on the material going in. I think that's what's interesting about impulse responses is that they capture a lot more than just like how long a reverb is. There's all these like resonations and all this kind of really interesting frequency response stuff that happens that you'll hear when you start to apply a convolution reverb. I love this one. It's so cool. 6, 7, 8. We're looking about an 8-second tail on that reverb, which is great. The synth stuff was kind of interesting. I was realizing pretty quickly that I needed to leave a lot of space, or at least create some space in between notes and events so that the reverb could take off. If you're working with a really long reverb, I mean, if you're working with any reverb, really, what you don't want to do is just have it like continually doing the same thing, because the reverb then has no time to really blossom. You might get some like stereo haloing or something like that, but you won't really get the sense of space, because the events will just be constant and you'll never hear the space take off. So with the synth stuff, I knew I needed to devise something that had a fair amount of like differences in timbre to create like the sense of space. So let's just listen to this. You'll see what I mean. You can hear how different parts take off into the space. And that was the point, to create events that would take off and the room would just go like, hey, I want to reverberate that. The drums were kind of interesting. I knew since we had this gigantic space that if I sent a lot of syncopation into the reverb, it was going to kind of sound like a mess. I don't know if any of you have been like outside a club or outside a show where like really fast music is playing, or anything that has a lot of information, and then it just gets all smeared together. So originally I sent them stuff with a lot of space in it, you know? Which I think sounds pretty cool. But they were like, well, actually, we really want people to know what it sounds like when you send like, you know, faster drums through. I'm like, okay, well, here's here you go. I mean, that sounds pretty cool, actually. Things get really, really fun when you start setting pads and orchestral information into here. And I mean, that's my jam. So, you know, I got to do it. Like, I want to be in the space and feel this, because I think it'd be really, really interesting. It's one of the things about this is you can start to imagine what it would actually like feel like to be in the space. And yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds about, right? Like, that would just be an experience. It'd be so cool. Just let it wash over you. It'd be so, so cool. They were like, we need solo voice. So I was like, okay, well, I do have a plugin that will do solo voice. I got this recently as an NFR, not for resale. And it's really interesting. It lets you come in and draw lyrics and words. And I know things like this exist, but I've never really used one before. And I was pretty impressed.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, whoa, what's this? Ooh, 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 ooh. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I've seen sunlight in the afternoon. I've seen moonlight in the rain. And I felt love when it was hopeless. And it gave me hope again.
Technology is crazy, man. Seriously. We can like convolve any space we want. We can just make people sing whatever we want. The future is pretty crazy. Anyways, that's all from me. Let's go back to Jeremiah Samsonite and see what terrible things he has in store for us.
Oh my God, are you still awake after that? Oh, what a nerd. Anyways, that's what MODCAF likes to call phase 1. The next phase actually actually involves bringing in a series of artists to compose music directly for the wind tunnel. That's right. Most artists would prefer to compose music for an audience of people, human beings that can actually hear their piece in real time and experience it. But these people are a different kind of artist, a sad, lonelier type of artist that is very happy making music with a wind tunnel for an audience. They'll get a chance to go into the space, experience it, and compose a piece that is unique and made to interact directly with the physicality of this wind tunnel. If that wasn't exciting enough, they've also gotten Portishead's Adrian Utley to come in and do a special performance in this space. Now, I don't know about you, but the little sad boy in me that used to listen to Portishead all the time is very excited about this. So what's the point of all this? Why do it? Well, the final output of this project will be digital recordings of the tracks recorded in the wind tunnel, a limited edition vinyl release, a full-length documentary, and an academic study focusing on the ethnology of Modular Cafe Aldershot. But all that's way boring, right? What you want to do is get those IRs and start convolving. I want you to get those IRs linked in the video description and a piece using your own music. Put it online and tag MODCAF with the hashtag you see here. With our powers combined, we can create a global community convolvulators, convolvunists. That's bad. Convolutionists. Together with our powers combined, we can create a global community of convolutionists coming together under the pretense that we like hearing things in big spaces. I think that's a cause worth convolving for. Thank you so much for watching this video on Project Test Chamber. I hope I have whetted your interest, that it has piqued and also hard. This has been Jeremiah Samsonite. Remember to stay gold, enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi, and abolish the Electoral College. Make sure to like and subscribe and join me for my next video where I plan on burning down a Walmart. Until then.